Hi everybody, my name is Naveen Rizvi and we're really excited to be at SOS Village in Lahore, Pakistan, and we have the wonderful Mrs. Souriya with us, who is the founder of SOS Village in Pakistan. And we've got a bunch of questions for you, and we're really excited to kind of dive deep into your mind and hear about your experience at SOS and what you've created here alongside your very, very incredibly intelligent team. So just to kick off the first question, what are the most important aspects of a child's upbringing at SOS Village?
Well, to bring up a child is something that has many, many facets. We are all aware of that. And what we try to do in SOS is replicate a normal childhood for our children. I mean, they're as much entitled to whatever other children are. And to do this, we make the necessary arrangements. We give them a home, we give them shelter, but we are very, well, our slogan says it all, a loving home for every child. That is our attempt, that's what we are working towards.
Yeah. So, on your website, you believe that to create a loving home, there are many principles that have been considered and you've chosen 4 specifically. Could you go into detail in terms of what those 4 principles are and why you've selectively chosen those 4 as opposed to more principles or fewer principles?
Well, these 4 principles are really what is basic to a child's needs, any child, and everything then grows from that. A child needs a mother, first of all, and they need a home, they need brothers and sisters, and then a community to grow in. So this is just the basis for starting the work. Everything follows from that. All the other needs of the children and the attention they get, the protection they get, is something that follows from this base. Is where the 4 needs are identified.
And it's really important to recognize also as we obviously, I have my parents, but when you lose your parents, you lose so many opportunities to have that meaningful relationship with an adult. And you specifically focus on the mother. Can you go into why you specifically focus on a mother as opposed to a 2 set of parents?
You know, when you lose your parents, you lose everything, because you're too young to do anything for yourself. And they have to provide, they have to think for you, and the main responsibility is on the mother. And the mother has to be aware of not only the physical needs of the child, the emotional needs, and for this they are not their natural children, so we have to train them, we have to ensure that they do it, and this is the biggest challenge, to make sure that the mothers are providing for the children as we would like them to.
SOS Village is not only based in Pakistan, it's international in 135 countries, 572 villages in itself internationally. So in terms of Pakistan's presence, in terms of there are villages available in just more than Lahore as well. What's the future for SOS Village within Pakistan?
Well, when we started, of course, we had no idea of the response, but we were very hopeful. We were very confident that this work would get good support, and we just grew as we could. What we have done here is something different to most of the other associations around the world, which are managed in a more bureaucratic manner, mainly because they are being funded from the promoting associations. When we started, we were confident that our people would support this, and we said this to the international association, that we would take guidance from them, but we would be able to do it ourselves. And they were very surprised, but we have proved that we were right, and our people have done an amazing job in supporting this work. So we have grown as we have been able to involve people in other cities to take it up, and basically we have given them ownership of the projects, which is actually the secret of our success, that these volunteers in all these 17 different cities are taking it forward. And we do get requests, we get many more requests than we are able to meet, and we don't really need to be in all the places where people invite us to come, but we are working towards reaching to diverse areas and reaching out to regions that are unreached, where they may not know about us. So we've succeeded in covering Pakistan pretty well.
Yeah.
There's one area where we still feel the lack, and that is, you hear of that a great deal now in other contexts also, is South Punjab. We do need a village in South Punjab, and inshallah, when someone comes along and offers us support for a village, that's where it'll go.
Is it the case in South Punjab that its context is different? Somewhere like Lahore and Karachi, which has like a really structured city, but why South Punjab in particular that it needs
the area, not looking at. It must be. Very often people ask us to come to rural areas, and it doesn't work that way, because the children need so much support from the civil society organizations. So we have to be centered in cities, but then we have to look at the hub in that region. So that is, we have these now everywhere. The only area we are not now between Multan and Khairpur is a large area that needs to be served, and that's about it. Then we'll see, take it from there.
Exactly. So, Ms. Anwar, could you just share with us your experience of your time before you worked in developing SOS Village in Lahore and to where you are now? Because your story is so insightful. There are many women in Pakistan who aspire to do great things for this nation. And similarly, me being abroad, I would like to be someone who can contribute to this great country. Career-wise, what brought you to this point?
Well, basically, I'm not a career woman. I was a housewife, and but I was very interested in, or motivated to do social work. There's no doubt about that. So in any capacity that I could, with different, and usually it's women's associations that get involved. They have the time and they should do it. I worked through several associations for social welfare, and had a great interest in giving back what I could and to help others. And this is what got me involved in SOS. It was really something that just struck a chord in my heart the minute I heard about it, and I jumped at the opportunity.
No, I completely agree. What are the common misconceptions people have about SOS Village?
I don't think there are many. I think most people don't know enough about SOS Villages. They know of the name, and those who have been here and are supporting us, of course, come and see our work close up. But I think we are generally known as a successful welfare organization looking after orphans. And also, if I can boast, also people trust us. They trust what we are doing.
I think that's a really important point, because with that trust you can then expand the work into not only the similar context but in different contexts as well. How many citizens within Pakistan and overseas contribute to the project in itself? Is that financially, if it's the promotional work, is it through sponsorship or donations? So how is that managed?
Well, we, as I said, we are working in these different cities, and the people in those cities, it's a natural response, prefer to look after children where they are, where they can meet them, see them. So every city is hopefully will be totally self-sufficient one day. Many of them are, but some of them do need support from this national office. So we work with these different groups wherever they are, and they all have their donors, and I must say that our donors, particularly the ones we have here in Lahore, they are amazing. It's not a really that big a group. You'd be surprised. Maybe 10 or 15,000 people who are regular donors, but they keep coming back. They come back every year, and of course the number keeps growing. But we have these donor groups in every city, and everyone is looking after their own, you can say,
That's really brilliant.
It's wonderful, it's wonderful.
That's really heartwarming to know that you have citizens in abundance.
We do. I must say, this is really something which gives one great hope for Pakistan, that there are so many people who would like to see to take forward a good cause, would like to see things change, would like to see, see that they can donate somewhere where their money will be properly used. That is a great credit to our people.
Absolutely. So, what does the future hold for SOS Village? What are the intentions to expand? How do you see over the next 10 years, let's say, how SOS Village will either change or develop or take a different...
No, I don't think it'll change. It'll certainly develop. From the very beginning, we have known that the biggest social problem in Pakistan vis-a-vis the children is not of orphans. The orphans are there. They are the most important and most vulnerable, obviously. But the number of complete orphans is not that big in any society. Here we unfortunately have a lot of violence. Children are killed. There's all kinds of feuds and things happening. But not that many children lose both parents. The larger category is those children who are children of mothers who are single earners. They have lost their husbands, they're divorced, widowed, whatever. And they have usually several children to look after. And we do not take those children in our villages. It sounds very hard-hearted, and it is sometimes so difficult to refuse them, but we have to explain to them that the mother is much more important than anything SOS can do. Yeah. And if they have a mother, no matter how she nurtures them, she should keep them. So we've been aware of this from the very beginning, and these children are not in our criteria. But now we have reached a stage where we are expanding and can take care of these children too. And 3 years ago we started a pilot project in a donated building here in Lahore, and specifically for these children. And they are not villages in the sense that we have these homes. You can call them residential boarding schools, where the children are given a place to live, they're given education, and total access to their mothers. Yeah. The mothers can meet them, the mothers are encouraged to take them on the weekend, so the child doesn't feel he has been abandoned somewhere. So those are our new projects, and we hope to have one, we call them satellite projects, with every village, maybe more than one. And we have already started off. We have a good start in this. We have 4 projects running. So this is what we are going to be developing over the coming years.
Brilliant. And I love the fact that you're talking about how it is a development. Yes. Things have changed. I think with any organisation that develops over the years, as it changes, its ability to deal with such situations can change as well. It's not
well, I wouldn't say change in that sense, because of course our children, our orphans are there, and we give them the same attention as we always have. But we are expanding. We are now reaching out to these children that previously we didn't take in our villages, or we don't, even now we don't take them into the villages, because we don't want 2 categories of children, one where the mother comes and takes the child away and the other child has nobody, which is not fair to him.
Yeah, but that's really important for that consistency as well.
Yeah, not to have that difference.
Yeah. So, in terms of SOS Village, in terms of the mother being one of the most crucial aspects to an emotional upbringing of a child, how do you find the SOS mothers that you train, recruit and support?
Well, to tell you the truth, that has been our biggest problem. Okay. Because we are very selective in the mothers we take, and obviously we look at various qualities in a woman who should come. First of all, of course, she has to be a woman who can dedicate her life to being with the children, live here 24/7 and be a mother in every sense of the word. And we are also rehabilitating women, a large number of women who can come to us and apply for this. But I think the main reason for the hesitation of women to come is that, as you know, we have this hierarchy of work, we have domestic servants. And unfortunately, many women look at this as a form of domestic work, of ayahs, as we are familiar with. And educated women do not want to come and be seen as ayahs. So we are trying to change this, and we give them a great deal of respect. We train them. We want educated women to come and do this. I think it's a wonderful profession to be a mother of a group of children. But generally, women are reluctant to come. But there are many women who need support, who need a place to go. They're alone, they're shelterless, and they do come to us, but it is a struggle finding good mothers. It still is after all these years.
Wow, that's so, you've very much cleared an area of confusion that I've had over the years in terms of how are these mothers found, is difficulty in finding them, I guess the training is so
it's very important. It's extremely important, yes.
Exactly.
And repeated training on and on and on, because these things don't come naturally to women who are, should we say, they may be very good mothers, but there's a lot more than just loving the children and feeding them. You know.
And the continual professional development is actually so important, because children, you have different children, they have different ages, they grow up, they go through the whole kind of education system. They may choose a different path academically. They may go into vocational training. You just never know.
Yes.
So that kind of CPD is so valuable for a person.
Well, another thing we do with the women who come, if they are not educated, we do have literacy classes, because the mother also should have the self-esteem. The children are there, they're doing their homework. She should be involved in what they are doing, and they should not look at her as a maid. They should really respect her as a mother. And we do try to keep improving the quality of the mothers and the ability of the mothers. That's very important.
And that really is at the heart of the principle.
That is the whole thing.
But Mr. Ahmed, I'm so blown away by your how eloquent you are and how much you taught us in the very, very small amount of time that we've had. Thank you so much for your time. We're really grateful, and we may be back with more questions in the future.
Thank you.
And we're very big supporters
Always
in the UK.
Yes.
We're really blown away by what you're doing.
Yes.
So.
Thank you so much. Do spread the word, because we need all the support we can get, and that is what keeps us growing and working forward now.
A lot of my friends in the UK who are Pakistani, who even aren't even Pakistani, find the whole philosophy of SS Village so enlightening and so eye-opening.
It's so natural, it's so basic. It's, what do you do for an orphan child? I don't think you can do much better than this.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I like how individualized it is, that every child is given that time and attention. Yes. And we asked Sabah before as well, like, the word orphanage doesn't even come to mind when you're at
it's a home. We don't use the word orphanage. This is their home.
And they come back as well.
All the time, yes. We are their family, this is their home, and we're trying to give them what they lack.
Yeah.
That is a...
Sabah also mentioned how one of your directors in Islamabad went the process, and she calls you Khala because she pretty much sat in your lap and grew up with you.
Yes. They are very much family.
So heartwarming.
Yes. We give them this feeling that you're not alone in the world. We are here, and we are here for you, and obviously they respond to it. This is what they lack.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to take a couple of photos, a couple candid, a couple staged, and everything will be shared with you as well. But no, that was so interesting.
Thank you.
I'm
really happy you're doing this, because there's a lot of good work being done in Pakistan that people don't know about, and others should understand. They should know that it is possible to contribute in this way and do so much. And this is how you grow. I mean, we started from one village, and look at us now.
I know.
54 projects. It's amazing.
Mind-blowing.
And it'll just keep growing.
Yeah.
As long as we keep doing it well, it'll keep growing.